So the new media. Let's see. Yeah, what is actually so new about the new media? Well, it's about information. Let's say back then people were encoding information in stone, right? So this had to be carried by people in order to be delivered. So it weighs a lot. And later, let's say in pharaonian times, they started using paper. But still, even with the paper, in order to be delivered, they had to pack it in, let's say, pottery, and then, well, carry the pottery. So it's kind of still the same. So it's very heavy. Now, Ines thought about this and concluded that, well, this kind of media is time persistent. Paper not that much, but still it persists time. But the heavy downside is that, well, since it's heavy, it's very hard to spread that stuff, to widespread, I mean. So what's new media then? Well, think of wires that get connected in a network. That thing is called telegraph. Now, all you have to do to deliver a message is press this little button and then use a certain code. And the message eventually gets encoded into electric signals, and those signals will be spread in a network consisting of different nodes. Now, like this, it is very easy to spread a message throughout space. So that's the advantage of new media. The downside is that it is not persistent in time. I don't know if the telegraph looked like this or if it was linear, but nonetheless, this structure stays with the other new media. So no matter if you talk about the telephone, the cell phones, or about the internet, which we didn't have until the late 60s, and then it only went public in the 90s, or close to 89. But still, what you can have here is one-to-one communication, let's say between these nodes, or one-to-many, let's say this node spreads a message to all the other nodes, or many-to-many, which is the case, well, not only, but for example on Facebook, on social networks. Not only Facebook, but social networks in general. And so, what happens with the many-to-many communication in social networks? Well, people usually have their circles of people who they are connected to in their life. So, all these circles come together in just one account. So basically, what happens is worlds collide. Contacts clash. Now, people put a lot of data in there because they use those social networks as a self-representation, like their personal front page. Well, like this, they gather a lot of data in the profile, and the network or the company running the network collects the data and uses it for, I don't know, several purposes. And what else is to mention? Oh yeah. Well, we don't perceive the internet when we travel through it like you think you would. Meaning, it's not a car where you drive around and just look at whatever you like. No, we are all in filter bubbles. And the deal with the bubbles is It's like a lens, and it's very hard to steer this lens. And you have all these bubbles, and they like you don't you're not always aware of the fact that you're actually inside bubbles and looking through bubbles. So yeah, when you're not aware of this, you may think you travel the internet you're on your own way and still you can see everything, but that's just not the case. That's not true. So maybe the bubbles are not the problems, but it's all about how we handle those little bubbles. And maybe it is possible to collect even more of them, combine them, and squeeze them, or through a lot of bubbles get a wider view. This is gonna be my end message. Try to handle the bubbles. Thank you very much for this class.